came to Flextech because my mom, she was telling me about these different schools of choice, and I was like, well, if I have a choice, then. And the thing I loved about these schools were that they didn't necessarily have the structured learning program that every high school has. And I really needed that because I was struggling. I came out of middle school as a straight A student, and then I got to high school and that wasn't the case. I got my first C and I cried. And then my mom, we tested for different learning disabilities, and we found out I had one. And well, we tried to work it out with the school to see if they could help, but they didn't. And we said, well, what can we do? What kind of different solutions can we have? And we found Flextech.
Kendra is insanely intelligent and very creative. Every time I came up with a project, so last year was my first year with PBL, so I was even kind of new to it. Anytime I had what I thought a project would look like, she's always like, I have a different idea for this. Can I do it? And again, student-centered, what do you have? Let's do this. Because sometimes I would take an idea she had and I would put it into a different project, and I always let her put her own twist on whatever project that she wanted to create. Again, going back to the traditional model, I mean, if you go and a teacher has an idea, that's what they want to see. Here, it's like, as long as you're expressing the comps and what we're trying to get across, if you can show that in your own individual way, it's perfectly okay.
I really didn't like being new all the time. I've moved around so much, and so like I just couldn't stand being new again. But when I first got here, I just felt like I was immediately accepted, and everybody kind of learned differently. And that was one of the struggles in high school, is that I was learning slower and differently than everybody else. And so everyone learned differently and took their time, and the teachers were so great at supporting me. I do love project-based learning. It's so much fun. I'm a naturally silly person, and usually in high school you don't get to necessarily express those type of feelings at all during any of your projects. It's usually just, if it's a science, you do a project about rocks and tell the world how rocks work.
She actually did this awesome project for my PSA campaign, where they had to pick a topic that they were kind of passionate about or could get into. And so she did, instead of just like don't smoke like cigarettes, she did don't vape. And so she and her peer in the same class, they made this PSA video that was like kind of a trailer for a actual video that would come out. It was called The Vapist.
She said he's so sweet, I wanna let the rapper. And she licks me like a lollipop.
I remember my last project showcase, my project was a movie, and it was called The Vapist, and I got to have so much fun while also demonstrating writing skills, and I got to video edit a little bit, and that was fun. I want to go to college and study communications. I don't know what path that is going to lead me down to, but I think that's something I'm just naturally good at, and I kind of want to do a little bit of video editing along the way. I am a Flextech advocate. I am on Snapchat telling my friends about Flextech, on Instagram. I really don't think there is a moment when people ask me about education, I'm like promoting Flextech and referring them to Mrs. Pazer and just trying to get more people to come to the school, because I know it like has changed my life, and I know it'll change theirs.